With the huge demand and rise of digital piano sales, Ted and I asked the question, will acoustic pianos go extinct?
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in beautiful downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We appreciate your support and love to interact with you. So will acoustic pianos go the way of the Dinosaur?
Yeah, there's certain models that are going to be obsolete. It's already showing up.
I know you were talking, you're like, well, think about it. There's already pianos that cease to exist. Well, not only like piano brands and manufacturers that have, of course, you know, there used to be thousands of them. Now there's a handful, but actual products that just don't exist.
People used to experiment and design and make, you know, new pianos. They had the butterfly one where the tops would open up like a big V, so it had the wings. And there's all different kind of designs. Those days have pretty much stopped unless it's one of those, particularly those European models. I'm trying to think, is it Schimmel that makes a lot of those fancy looking Picasso kind of painted pianos and
there's
stuff?
some crazy pianos out there.
Yeah, there are. And but it's like when this topic came up, it's like I asked you, okay, Patrick, you have to go practice for your piano recital. You need 90 minutes to 2 hours, and you're in the music hallway, in the rehearsal hall, and you look in, and there's an available old upright, maybe a spinet, and then you look across the hall, and there's, you know, a clavinova, or there's some kind of digital piano, and which one are you going to play on?
Probably go to the digital.
Yeah, because it's a better instrument. It's going to play consistent, and number one, it's going to be in tune. When you see an old spinet,
you know it's going to be out of tune.
There's going to be some wonkies in there, and I don't really want that right now. I don't want to be distracted with the wonky notes and have to imagine how it's going to sound on a perfect piano. Sticking keys. So you get the closest thing to perfection that you can find, and that's always going to be a relatively new state-of-the-art digital piano, because they're trying to emulate a $250,000 grand piano in this thing that's upright.
Yeah.
And
it's a fraction
that was
of the cost
never
too.
in their mind when they made the spinet. Are just a little upright. They were never trying to impersonate. They were just trying to fill a need for someone to practice.
And now there seems to be like a race to like perfection. The hybrid pianos of the world, you know, they range from, you know, $8,000 to $20,000, and they get really close to being the same experience as sitting in front of a bagel.
Yeah, it's getting that way. So what kind of future do I see for acoustic pianos? Well, right now, who's making a spinet piano? That's gone to the wayside. And who's making grand pianos that are less than 5 feet? That's gone to the wayside. I don't think there's a 5 foot below piano unless it's a 4 foot 11.5 that's in production in the world anywhere, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
I mean,
the petites
I don't
are
know
gone,
everything, but I can't see how there's any kind of financial or practical valuation to making a small grand like that, unless it's an empty shell to put a digital in, which is getting more popular. We've had people come in and want to buy clunk old grands for a couple $100 so they can strip it and.
Well, yeah, and you see digital. You know, if you see a grand piano that's shorter than 5 foot, it's usually a digital piano that's mimicking. So, you know, you think of the Clavinova, they have the 765 GP, you know, Kawai makes the DG30, you know, it has the lid that opens. It looks like it's going to be a grand piano, and people are like, where are the strings? And they're not there.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of times I think about, the piano has got such a beautiful long tradition of being like the world's premier acoustic instrument. And then out of nowhere, you just look at a picture of downtown Tokyo or Shanghai, and you realize the millions of people in apartments and how tiny space is. And it's like, man, if you're one of the millions of people that live there and you're a musician, you're a pianist, you have to have a digital piano. There's no way you're going to put a 9-footer in there. You'd have to pay thousands of dollars rent just to get your piano in there.
Yeah.
And so that is really the future. People are getting into smaller houses and smaller spaces in the urban cities and wanting all the great big luxury items. And a high-dollar digital piano is just as much fun as a other high-dollar luxury item.
Well, I think of like the way of traveling. You know, it's like people used to ride horses, used to ride trains more, especially here in the U.S. And you know, those things still exist. Train travel, riding horses still exist, but it's like almost a novelty. So I see the piano, you know, probably not for a while, but I see eventually it being more and more rare to see an acoustic instrument, especially if like you're not just an enthusiast, that just really wants it. So I think it will always be available, but I think it's one of those things where it will limit because it's going to be just more expensive and more inconvenient to own.
Well, you have to remember, I love that Jerry Springer line. Where do you find the audience? Okay, because the idea is that the audience in this day and age is used to everything being crystal clear clarity coming out of the instrument. It's got to be broadcast. If it's coming, most people are getting their stuff off of the internet, and that means it's a clean digital sound. And if you have some old wonky sounding rusty sort of acoustic piano behind it, if it's not for effect in a movie or a song, it's out of tune, it's not serving the spot. The digital pianos and their sound, I'm not saying it has fulfillment to a musician, but the sound and what it delivers to the audience, which are the people that are going to pay you to play it or pay you to hear it or to pay you to turn it off, okay? That's the demanding audience is a lot more. I mean, it used to be like, oh, that guy playing piano. They didn't care if it's out of tune or not. Now it's like, okay. It's kind of like when Mom and Pa Kettle go to town. Well, town has changed now, and things are beyond impressive of what they used to be. They're better than real.
Yeah. So, this is our thoughts. I don't think we'll ever see a complete extinction of the acoustic instrument, but it will be more and more of a rare sighting. And so please leave your comments. Let us know what you think. This is Ted and I's opinion on
nostalgia.
Yeah, the extinction of the acoustic piano. Is it going the way of the dinosaurs? Is there a giant meteor that has digital pianos? Has the meteor already hit? Is this just a settling? And so please leave comments. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear about it. We'd love to discuss it. Ted will get on there and discuss some of this with you. So thank you guys for watching. Again, Ted Barcelou. I'm Patrick Marr here in Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us in Austin. We do have Kawhi Piano Galleries that are in St. Louis and Kansas City, as well as a Kawhi Piano Gallery of Michigan in the Metro Detroit area.
In the D.
And Traverse City. Not Traverse City, Traverse. I learned that. That was a very important lesson I learned when I was up there. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.